Sir Marc Aurel Stein, KCIE FRAS FBA, was a Hungarian-British archaeologist, primarily known for his explorations and archaeological discoveries in Central Asia. He was also a professor at Indian universities. Stein was also an ethnographer, geographer, linguist and surveyor. His collection of books and manuscripts taken from Dunhuang Caves is important for the study of the history of Central Asia and the art and literature of Buddhism. He wrote several volumes on his expeditions and discoveries, which include Ancient Khotan, Serindia and Innermost Asia. Early life. Stein was born to Nathan Stein and Anna Hirschler, a Jewish couple residing in Budapest in the Austro-Hungarian Empire. His parents and his sister retained the Jewish faith, but Stein and his brother Ernst Eduard were baptized as Lutherans, apparently to free them from the anti-Semitism which would have denied them access to education and advancement. At home the family spoke German and Hungarian, the language of Hungarian nationalist revival in the 19th century, and Stein was proud of this heritage for the rest of his life. He attended Catholic and Lutheran gymnasiums in Budapest, where he mastered Greek, Latin, French, and English before going on for advanced study at universities of Vienna, Leipzig and Tübingen. He graduated in Sanskrit and Farsi and received his Ph.D. from Tübingen in 1883. In 1884 he went to England to study Oriental languages and archaeology. He became a British citizen in 1904 and made his famous expeditions with British sponsorship. In 1887, Stein went to India, where he joined the Punjab University as registrar. Later, between 1888 and 1899, he was the principal of Oriental College, Lahore. Stein was influenced by Sven Hedden's 1898 work Through Asia. Realizing the importance of Central Asian history and archaeology, he sent a proposal to the government to explore, map and study the people of Central Asia. In May 1900 he received the approval to lead an expedition to Chinese Turkestan, which was strategically located in High Asia, where the Russians and Germans were already taking interest. Expeditions. Stein made 4 major expeditions to Central Asia in 1900, 1901, 1906 to 1908, 1913 to 1916 and 1930. He brought to light the hidden treasure of a great civilization which by then was practically lost to the world. One of his significant finds during his first journey during 1900-1901 was the Taklamakan Desert Oasis of Dandanoilik, where he was able to uncover a number of relics. During his third expedition in 1913 to 1916, he excavated at Karakatu, the British Library's Stein collection of Chinese, Tibetan and Tangut manuscripts, Prakrit wooden tablets, and documents in Khotanese, Uyghur, Sogdian and Eastern Turkic as the result of his travels through Central Asia during the 1920s and 1930s. Stein discovered manuscripts in the previously lost Tocharian languages of the Tarim Baseline, Admiran and other oasis towns, and recorded numerous archaeological sites, especially in Iran and Balochistan. When Stein visited Khotan, he was able to render in Persian a portion of the Shahnameh after he came across a local reading the Shahnameh in Turkey. During 1901, Stein was responsible for exposing forgeries of Islam Akan. Stein's greatest discovery was made at the Mogao Caves, also known as Caves of the Thousand Buddhas, near Dunhuang in 1907. It was there that he discovered a printed copy of the Diamond Sutra, the world's oldest printed text, dating to AD 868, along with 40,000 other scrolls. He acquired 24 cases of manuscripts and 4 cases of paintings and relics. He was knighted for his efforts, but Chinese nationalists dubbed him a burglar and staged protests against him. His discovery inspired other French, Russian, Japanese, and Chinese treasure hunters and explorers who also took the toll on the collection. During his expedition of 1906 to 1908, while surveying in the Kunlun Mountains of western China, Stein suffered frostbite and lost several toes on his right foot. When he was resting from his extended journeys into Central Asia, he spent most of his time living in a tent in the spectacularly beautiful alpine meadow called Mohand Marg, which lies at the mouth atop the Sind Valley, wherefrom he translated Rajatarangini from Sanskrit to English. Stein was a lifelong bachelor, but was always accompanied by a dog named Dash. The fourth expedition to Central Asia, however, ended in failure. Stein did not publish any account, but others have written of the frustrations and rivalries between British and American interests in China, between Harvard's Fogg Museum and a British museum, and finally, between Paul J. Sachs and Langdon Warner, the two Harvard sponsors of the expedition. Stein died in Kabul on the 26th of October 1943 and is buried in Kabul's British Cemetery. Great game. Stein, as well as his rivals Sven Hedin, Sir Francis Younghusband and Nikolai Przewalski, were active players in the British-Russian struggle for influence in Central Asia, the so-called Great Game. Their explorations were supported by the British and Russian empires as they filled in the remaining blank spots on the maps, providing valuable information and creating spheres of influence for archaeological exploration as they did for political influence. The art objects he collected are divided between the British Museum, the British Library, the Srinagar Museum, and the National Museum, New Delhi. Honours. Stein received a number of honours during his career. In 1909, he was awarded the Founders Medal by the Royal Geographical Society for his extensive explorations in Central Asia, and in particular his archaeological work. In 1909, he was awarded the first Campbell Memorial Gold Medal by the Royal Asiatic Society of Bombay. He was awarded a number of other gold medals. The Gold Medal of the Société de Géographie in 1923, the Grande Médaille d'Or of the Royal Asiatic Society of Great Britain and Ireland in 1932, and the Gold Medal of the Society of Antiquaries of London in 1935. In 1934, he was awarded the Huxley Memorial Medal of Royal Anthropological Institute of Great Britain and Ireland. In the 1910 King's Birthday Honours, he was appointed Companion of the Order of the Indian Empire for his service as Inspector General of Education and Archaeological Surveyor in the Northwest Frontier Province. 2 years later, in the 1912 King's Birthday Honours, he was promoted to Knight Commander of the Order of the Indian Empire for his service as Superintendent of the Archaeological Department, Northwest Frontier Circle. He was made an Honorary Doctor of Letters by the University of Oxford in 1909. He was made an Honorary Doctor of Science by the University of Cambridge in 1910. He made an Honorary Doctor of Laws by the University of St Andrews in 1939. In 1919, Stein became a foreign member of the Royal Netherlands Academy of Arts and Sciences. In 1921, he was elected Fellow of the British Academy. Publications. 1896. Notes on the Ancient Topography of the Pyarpansel Route. Journal of the Asiatic Society of Bengal, Volume LXIV, Part 1, No. 4, 1895. Calcutta 1896. 1896. Notes on Ao Keung's account of Kashmir. Ween, Gerald 1896. published in both English and German in Vienna, 1898. Detailed report on an archaeological tour with the Bunna Field Force, Lahore, Punjab Government Press, 1900. Kalhana's Rajatarangini, a chronicle of the kings of Kashmir, 2 vols. London, A. Constable and Amp Co. Limited, reprint, Delhi, Motilal Banarsidas, 1979. 1904. Sand-buried ruins of Khotan, London, Hurst and Blackett, Limited. Reprint, Asian Educational Services, New Delhi, Madras, 2000. Sand-buried ruins of Khotan, Volume 1. 1905. Report of archaeological survey work in the Northwest Frontier Province and Balochistan, Peshawar, Government Press, N.W. Frontier Province, 1907. Ancient Khotan. Detailed report of archaeological explorations in Chinese Turkestan, 2 vols. Clarendon Press, Oxford. Ancient Khotan, Volume 1. Ancient Khotan, Volume 2, 1912. Ruins of Desert Cathay. Personal narrative of explorations in Central Asia and westernmost China, 2 vols. London, Macmillan and Amp Co. Reprint, Delhi, Low Price Publications, 1990. Ruins of Desert Cathay, Volume 1. Ruins of Desert Cathay, Volume 2, 1918. Routes from the Punjab to Turkestan and China, recorded by William Finch. The Geographical Journal, Volume 51, Number 3, pp. 172–175, 1921a. Sir India. Detailed report of explorations in Central Asia and westernmost China, 5 vols. London and Amp. Oxford, Clarendon Press. Reprint, Delhi, Motilal Banarsidas, 1980. Sir India. Volume 1. Sir India. Volume 2. Sir India. Volume 3. Sir India. Volume 4. Sir India. Volume 5. The Thousand Buddhas. Ancient Buddhist paintings from the cave temples of Dunhuang on the western frontier of China. The Thousand Buddhas. Volume 1. 1921b. A Chinese expedition across the Pamirs and Hindu Kush. A.D. 747. Indian Antiquary, 1923. 1923. Memoir on maps of Chinese Turkestan. 1923. Memoir on maps of Chinese Turkestan and Kansu. Volume 1. 1928. Innermost Asia. Detailed report of explorations in Central Asia, Kansu and Eastern Iran. 5 vols. Oxford, Clarendon Press. Reprint, New Delhi. Cosmo Publications, 1981. Innermost Asia, Volume 1. Innermost Asia, Volume 2. Innermost Asia, Volume 3. Innermost Asia, Volume 4, 1929. On Alexander's Track to the Indus. Personal narrative of explorations on the northwest frontier of India. London, Macmillan and Amp Co. Reprint, New York, Benjamin Blom, 1972. 1932. On Ancient Central Asian Tracks. Brief narrative of 3 expeditions in Innermost Asia and northwestern China. Reprinted with introduction by Jeanette Mirsky. Book Faith India, Delhi, 1999. 1933. On Ancient Central Asian Tracks. Volume 1. 1937. Archaeological reconnaissances in northwestern India and southeastern Iran. Volume 1. 1940. Old routes of western Iran. Narrative of an archaeological journey carried out and recorded. Macmillan and Co. Limited. St. Martin's Street, London, 1944. Archaeological Notes from the Hindu Kush region, J.R. ASPP 1-24+ fold out. A more detailed list of Stein's publications is available in Handbook to the Stein Collections in the UK, pp. 49-61.